about. I kind of think it goes back to like down, in the 50s, there was, you couldn't be successful if, you didn't dress a certain way, or if you didn't, look how, they wanted. They wanted the typical white shirt, black suit kind of guys. And, people couldn't, be professional if they didn't get that. So I think it goes back to that, where people won't, accept you if you don't look the certain way that they want you to.
And yet this idea, it contrasts with what American society stands for, because the basis of our country was to promote individualism and to promote one's values and beliefs and dreams, even if they may not agree with other people's around you and society's expectations of you. So we have this interesting contrast between individuality and yet how conformity plays a role in fashion.
Yeah,
what we wear.
Fashion can also, again, express anti-conformity, as shown through the 60s and the 70s, that people grew their hair out. They wore bell-bottoms against their parents' better wishes, and they use it to express a statement. Fashion can sometimes express activism for a cause. Many people will wear shirts that display logos such as companies that promote a greener world, or maybe just messages like recycle and save the earth. It's just, it all depends on who the person is and what message they're trying to get across to the general public.
So from that statement, we should move on to our fourth question, which asks, do fad and fashion respond to public wants, or is it the opposite and fashion directs our wants?
Well, just looking at the fashion we have today, I believe fashion directs us. I mean, we go from the extremely uncomfortable, such as heels or, mini skirts and tight dresses, to things like Crocs, which I don't know if you disagree, but I don't find them aesthetically appeasing. But they became a huge fad, and you wonder how the fashion industry directs us, because I've never had a desire to wear shoes with holes in them, but maybe, I don't know. I just think the fashion world directs us to buy things.
Well, there's definitely a sense of different types of consumers, those who are more prudent and those who just want to make a statement, especially as you can see with the Crocs. So I think it all depends on your personality. Are you trying to fit in and conform? Are you trying to make a statement and be an activist? Or are you just buying clothes for the fun of it?
Well, even apart from making a statement, I think there's a very interesting way of how trends happen to be. I mean, things like Ugg boots, which have been around for years and years before they even became popular. I mean, I just want to find out who was the one person to start wearing them, and then everyone was like, oh my god, I have to have that. I mean, and also, if you look at the way fashion repeats itself from just in different ways. I mean, people go back now to things that were worn some, 20 or 50 years ago and just change them up. Or, for example, gladiator sandals. I know those became really popular last summer, and it makes you wonder, how did those come back in, and how did everyone start liking them just at one point? So that's an interesting way that trends reoccur throughout our history, and also how they redefine fashion.
So from that statement, we can question who or what are the things in our lives that we look towards to direct us in our fashion sense. What plays a large part, we have addressed the media, different aspects, movies, movie stars. Yeah. Who do we look to see what is fashionable and what we should be wearing?
Well, teenagers definitely look to magazines. I mean, magazines portray these images of models who are perfect and skinny, and they have the nicest hair and the nicest clothes. So that lowers many girls' self-esteem when they look at that, and that becomes a problem quite relevant in our society today.
But also, if you look about it from the opposite point of view, a lot of magazines help women dress for their body type too, not to hide their bodies, but to accentuate them and to make them look better. There's a different way of dressing for each body type. I mean, I know 17 magazine comes out with a monthly sort of article that shows girls on how to show off their body types and make them look good and not hide them or cover them up.
But what's interesting is that each month there's a different, oh, this will make you look good in this. And I think that's just going along with trends and kind of shows that fashion directs us into believing, okay, one month it'll be, okay, this type of skirt will make you look good. You'll go buy that. And the next month, well, no, this jacket's really going to make you look good. So really, fashion directs us.
And certainly all the spending on these clothes and these trends that we go out and we purchase things in order to make ourselves feel better and to make us look better, and leads us to the question of, does the value of fad, fashion, and brand to our overall economy outweigh any of the negative aspects we get from running out and buying and purchasing all these goods?
Well, I think in some ways the negative, it depends what kind of shopper you are. In some ways, for many people who are who overspend on clothing and who shop continually, the negative effects can sometimes outweigh, because you wonder sometimes if there's a problem in their self-image, or if they sometimes when people overspend, it can put them into a lot of debt. But at the same time, some people who shop a ton just love to shop, and that's what relieves their stress and gives them entertainment and and allows them to portray their personality. But some of the positive aspects of shopping is that it provides us with shelter from the elements, it gives us warmth, and like, clothes are cute, clothes are attractive. So it definitely, the positive and negative outlook values of clothing, sometimes they can be in an equilibrium, sometimes one can outweigh the other. It all depends on how prudently you do shop.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of person you are. Like, if you're the kind of person that will go out and, spend all this money on clothes that maybe you'll wear once or twice, obviously it's going to be bad for you to keep on going out and, spending all that money and getting in the debt for nothing. I think if you're the kind of person that, goes out and maybe buys a t-shirt here or there, maybe just browses and hangs out with friends at the mall, I think that's, that relieves stress, it provides you with self-esteem, so it's not that bad.
There's also a certain happiness that you get when you know that you're spending money on yourself. It's just a better feeling when you know that you're contributing to your own well-being. I mean, obviously it's not good to excessively shop, but if you're buying something that will make you feel better and more confident maybe, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's obviously a limit to everything.
Well, on that note, we shall have to close our discussion. I want to thank our panelists, Alex, Kelsey, Stephanie, and Natalie, for adding to our discussion and providing such interesting comments. I speak for all when I say I hope you have enjoyed our show. We look forward to you all joining us for our next production of Masuk Report. I'm Caitlin Carroll, and I wish you well.